even try, Mattel. Pink bird robots. Be prepared. Gets too close to him and... That was so unexpected. Oh my god. Hello, I'm Justin.
And I'm Kyle.
And we are the Mirror Twins. And you know what? Competition's pretty good.
Yes.
Right?
It makes things better, right?
It makes things better. You know, it makes yourself better. You know, your competitor's doing this. I need to do this to catch up, right? It keeps stuff from being stagnant.
And you get new ideas.
Competition makes you improve yourself. So, where's the competition for Transformers? When we think about transforming robots, we think of, well, Transformers. Oh, wait, there's GoBots. Oh, wait, no, that's Hasbro too. Well, gosh, where is the competition? Is there any? That's what we're going to discuss today. This guy loves Transformers, but he also loves anything transforming robot, right? Now, tell us the history of Transformers competition.
You mentioned GoBots. GoBots actually beat Transformers to the airwaves by, I think, a few months. But we had GoBots as children. What do you remember about between the difference between GoBots and Transformers?
I just remember it seemed a lot simpler. Transformation-wise, there wasn't as many surprises. A lot of them transformed the same. Some of them were just flat lazy. The way they transformed, they looked weird. Like, I think of Psykill as the quintessential problem with all of GoBots. He didn't even look like a motorcycle, and then when he stood up, he didn't look much like a robot. I mean, he didn't even have a head that popped out. It seemed like it was really, really lazy design. And then the cartoon just kind of emphasized that more. And it was
one of the huge difference specifically for the toys is that Transformers were more expensive. They were larger, they were more complicated, they came with a ton of accessories.
More metal or not?
Yeah, more metal, more chrome. Of course, the GoBots did have metals, but GoBots were cheap. GoBots were at the end of the aisle. These were just a few bucks back in the day.
I didn't realize that.
And then you also had the property that went with it. Like the names you mentioned. Okay, what was the leader of the Decepticons?
Megatron.
What's the leader of the GoBots?
Psykill.
And the leader of the Autobots?
Optimus Prime.
And the leader of the GoBots?
Leader 1.
Aren't those great names? Let's compare the lore here. Who was the Bumblebee equivalent to GoBots? Scooter. Now, Bumblebee, you can argue, is not that great of a name, but Scooter?
I remember Scooter still had his face when he was a scooter. Like, just staring at you.
Unfortunately, we don't have any GoBots to show you.
And of course, later Hasbro bought GoBots, so now they're the same. They're not considered a competition for Hasbro anymore.
No, but it's weird because Bandai still owns the rights to the toys. Hasbro bought the property, so they can't make, as far as I know, unless they work out the legal stuff, they can't make a GoBot toy that looks like Leader 1 because Bandai still owns the look. Probably why the design looked lamer, because it went closer to the toy. Whereas Transformers, they changed them. That first season, Optimus Prime didn't look like that. The toy didn't. They erred on the side of cool. So let me ask you another question. What's the difference between American mecha or Western mecha and Japanese mecha? Asian mecha are piloted, and Western mecha are
alive.
Sentient. They're alive. But anyway, we're here to talk about Hasbro's competition, and right now they don't really have competition.
Not on American toy shelves.
There's a couple things that kind of scratch that itch, but it's a different demographic they're going for, usually a younger demographic, and complexity. We could talk third party.
Yeah, but they don't compete on the same level, and a lot of those third parties are in this weird, like, will allow it kind of sanctioned realm, because they'll do obvious homages and Hasbro allows it, or maybe the legality of, well, it's different enough, we can't go after you. I don't know where that lies. Do you know anything about that?
I think officially Hasbro says there is no third party. They just ignore it. If they put a Transformers badge, they'll go after them. It is IP theft, because those figures probably wouldn't sell unless...
Yeah, unless they were recognized as, that's an Optimus Prime.
Right.
Okay.
Third parties are usually very expensive.
Super complex.
I hear people online, they praise these third parties. Oh, these are so cool. Why can't Hasbro do something like this? But at the same time, they don't mention this little figure costs 3 times the price of a comparable Hasbro.
And aren't they tend to be really fiddly and very complex to transform?
Not all of them, but a lot of them are. Let's switch to bootlegs real quick. I do have a couple bootlegs. Back in the day when Big Lots would allow third party, or Hasbro would allow Big Lots to sell bootleg versions, I got a tiny Devastator. So he's like 40% the size of the actual Devastator. And this guy I found at Full Circle.
Full Circle Toys in Noonan. A reseller of new and vintage toys.
So this is a Chinese bootleg of Bumblebee from the first movie, but he's colored in red, and he has a cliff jumper head. It even comes in the same box. They got really close, didn't they?
Oh!
But look at his name?
Cliff Jumper. He's an arc warrior. Okay. Have you taken this guy out of the box? Is he junk?
I haven't messed with this. I mostly got this for the packaging. They did new art for the head.
If we're talking bootlegs, we gotta go back to the beginning. Show us your coup de grace, your ultimate bootleg from the 80s. Because bootlegging, I didn't realize this, but bootlegging Transformers started way back then.
Oh, yeah.
It was a huge problem in the very beginning.
And a lot of them were bootleg before they became Transformers. They were bootlegging Diaclones. So you can find high quality knockoffs of original Diaclones.
And you have one, right?
I do have one.
All right.
So the owner of Full Circle Toys told me that if somebody can make money off of something, they will bootleg it. Even baseball cards have been bootlegged as far as they've been worth money. And Transformers is no different. So here is our G1 Sludge from
Total vintage.
This is
real
vintage.
deal.
This is ours from 1984 or 5. And this is a bootleg from the same year.
Wow, that thing looks amazing.
Isn't that cool? This was by a company, as far as I can tell, this was called 4-Star, but he's missing he had the clear neck piece.
Totally new head, added wings, because there were so many dinosaurs that looked like this. Change the colors to this coppery color and gold. Oh my goodness, this is amazing.
But this is vintage bootleg.
And it's like same quality material?
Yeah, they're really good.
This was totally illegal even back then, right?
Communist China, if a company comes in and says, hey, they're stealing our stuff, China, oh, okay, we'll do something.
Yeah. The way international law works, if you didn't know already, you can take people to court in international court, but the country has to enforce the law. Since all these companies are in China, all these factories are in China, China really has historically turned a blind eye. Though several years ago, there was a big bootleg Lego that was rated. So I don't know if somebody
I think that happened with Transformers. Well, I don't think it was so big they couldn't deny it.
I don't know. Conspiracy theory, I think palms got greased. I think some like Dutch people, oh, don't you want to take down these Lego guys, huh? You know.
Why do they sound German?
I don't know. What do Dutch people sound like?
You know, kind of German.
Thank you. Can you tell the difference between a Dutch and German
That was definitely
accent?
German.
Ah, you're too good. You're too good. Because these companies make money for China, so they're just shooting themselves in the foot. Let's get to the actual point of this video. Let's digress really hard. You want to do some hard digressing? So, what is the competition for Hasbro Transformers?
I have several different examples. We'll kind of build up to it. So these are kind of skewed off. So these aren't direct competitors, but these are Transformer-like things.
Transforming robots that are available to general public.
So you're familiar with this.
Oh, yes!
This is by 5-2 Toys.
And these are
Beastbox.
Beastbox. I've seen these on Big Bad for so long. I thought they were tiny because they're not that bad, like $20, $25 for each one. And the gimmick is they're usually animals and they all transform into this. All of them transform into the same thing. And impressively, the same size.
Yes, they're all, I think, 5 centimeters.
So you buy a bunch of them and you can just stack them.
This is the second run of the Owl.
Can you talk and transform or should I stop the video?
You talk. So this is a Chinese company. These guys love toys. They're very high quality. The print is very good. These are not your typical, like when you think of Chinese stuff, you think of bootleg and garbage and stuff like that. This is not that.
And what is the lore of this? Are they supposed to be alive?
I don't know. There are some that have like pilot things. So I think these are supposed to be gigantic.
Gigantic piloted mechs. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure what
Going back to the Japanese thing. And they're beautiful.
They are.
Pretty posable too, right?
Yes.
Was I right about my price? $25?
I think they're a little more than that now. I think that's when they started, but after COVID, you know, everything shot up. So I do have the flamingo. So I guess I have affinity for pink robots.
Pink bird robots. Beautiful. Does this go down? Oh, it's sleeping. That's the thumbnail.
So these do scratch a different itch. These are not like a warring faction or whatever, but it doesn't have to be like that.
It's a transforming robot, but they don't turn into humanoids. There's not as much story, but if you're just into transforming things, this is beautiful.
So for my headcanon, it all has to exist in the world of Transformers. So this can be another planet. So moving on from another kind of different feel.
He didn't really tell me what he's going to pull out. So this is all reaction. Some of the stuff I've heard of, some of the stuff I have seen previously, and then some of the stuff he's bringing out I've never seen.
So have you ever been in traffic? Somebody stops suddenly and the guy behind him gets too close to him and there's a unicorn?
That was so unexpected. Oh my god. What just happened? That doesn't seem possible. I need a moment. Oh my god. Do that again, please.
So this is just cheap Chinese toy. As far as I know, it's not based off of anything. This is a design that looks like it was sold to other companies, or maybe the company sold its name, but you can get this in different colors from different sellers and different companies.
It's always the same too?
It's the same. It's these two.
Okay.
But it's got a magnet in it.
Oh, it's a magnet. That's how it works. So they bump into each other and cause
the spring mechanisms to release.
Do they have any more that's not unicorns?
No, they're all unicorns because they use the same mold. You can find that are different colors. So again, this is a transforming robot. It's got the automorph feature. If you don't like that, then you're not going to like this.
You should have saved that for last, my friend, because I don't know if you can top that.
For an adult collector, this is probably not what they want because it's non-posable.
It's a one-trick pony. One-trick unicorn. It does it once, it's cool, but then it's like, okay, once you've seen it enough. Like, I could watch it probably 20 more times.
Yeah.
I would be cool before I'd even start, like, that curve. How do you top that? How do you top that? You don't.
All right, so this is kind of the American version by VTech. And VTech makes a ton of children's toys. A lot of toddler stuff.
Okay, so this obviously turns into some kind of animal. There's feet.
It's a fire rescue. I think this is a switch and go fire chief.
He's a-coming.
Roll.
Okay, let's roll.
Roll to the rescue.
So this has many, many phrases.
Does he
lights
want
and
to
sounds.
Roll out?
That's a 5-alarm fire. Let's roll.
He's not going to touch that with a 5-alarm fire. And then...
These claws stamp out fires.
So in case there's debris in the fire, the fire chief can jump over it.
Yes.
And
or he can pull people out of burning buildings with his
a
mouth.
giant wolf.
Okay.
Guy. So they make a couple... They make a couple of these switch and goes. Not all of them have the automorph. There's different sizes. Some of them are combiners. There's like 3 vehicles that form one animal and stuff like that. This was made like last year.
This line is new, or this?
No, they canceled the line. The line does not exist anymore, but it was just from like a year or 2 ago. So if you're interested in these for yourself or your kids, you can still get them. So
it's for little kids.
It's for kids.
So again, these are transforming robots, yes, but they're not really direct competition. We're not getting into like the same demographic. What's the real competition? Is it because they're scared? They can't touch the Transformers? Is that why?
Maybe. Well, that would be for adults.
We have to
think that.
Yeah, but it's still not like an anthropomorphic transforming robot. So what's going on? Hasbro's back in the back cracking their knuckles. I mean. Oh, you told me about these guys.
Do your kids watch Super Wings?
No, I've never even heard of it.
Okay, this is a goofy kid show. Transforming planes. They're very simple. You'll notice he doesn't really look like a plane from the back.
Yeah, I was gonna say, where's the rest of him?
So they're all chunky.
This is like Cars, right? The sequel Planes. It's very much
kind of in that vein. It's that aesthetic.
Yeah.
So some of them do have tail fins. So this is his tail fin sticking out, but they're all this kind of big, chunky, square thing.
So very young children.
So these are high quality toys. They don't do a lot. They make a bunch of them. These are like friendly sentient robot characters. The premise of the show from the first season is there's a character who delivers stuff, and he brings a delivery all around the world. So you're learning about people from different cultures and countries, and then he'll befriend them, and then there's a little problem they have to solve. It's kind of goofy, but this is one of the newer characters.
So he basically just stands up. He still has that giant head
and
the wings that jut out of the top of his back or whatever that is.
These are advertised to be very tough. You're supposed to be able to drop them and kick them, and they're fine. Very thick, high quality plastic. There's no hollow bits. It's got a second piece to make it really sturdy.
So the extra feature it has is sturdiness.
This one specifically, particularly, I got this one. His name is Tino because he does one extra thing the others don't.
It's sturdy. Go ahead and rip it open.
I'll just break it.
He turns into an alligator?
A dinosaur.
Oh, he has a third mode. So if he delivers a package and they complain, he just wastes them. This mode is much cooler.
Isn't that neat?
Oh my goodness.
So
he even's got he got a little smirk right there, and his eyebrows are slightly mad. It's like, you're gonna take this package.
You can see why he had the spikes.
That was surprising. I could tell the wings did something. Oh, That's a healthy Ratchet.
That's a healthy Ratchet.
Are these still available?
Yes.
I mean, I'm not going to buy one.
These are
for kids.
These are still available.
I can imagine. He's a robot. This package is damaged. What?
Be glad you aren't. Tino the Dino. I have another good one, and then I have a
These
bad
are all good. These are all good.
They're not all good.
This is him. This is the one you were telling me about. So now we're in the realm of
Direct competitor.
direct competitor. This is aimed at the same demographic.
Slightly younger.
Okay, slightly younger.
This is
but
for children.
Well, I mean,
Not
Transformers
younger
is for children.
Yes.
Transformers is for. Let's be real. As much as we want to deny it, Transformers is for children.
Well, I don't know if you saw the latest demographic information that came out of Hasbro.
Is it 50-50?
It's finally over 50-50. More collectors of Transformers are adults than children.
Wow.
Which it was going that way for years. Like,
Well, it's because they're so expensive.
you know what my wife said?
What?
We won. One of the hallmarks of Transformers that has always been part of the line is Transformers are expensive. You think of a 6-inch Transformer costs more than a 6-inch action figure.
It's the engineering, the mechanics.
Yeah.
There's so much more to it. The complexity, the amount of plastic.
The amount of pieces that go into it.
Yeah. So this is Bus King from Korea.
South Korea, because fun is illegal in North Korea.
When we say Korea, we mean the real one.
The real
not that fake Korea that hangs out upstairs. This company has been around a minute, right?
I think so. I didn't look up too much information. It's called Young Toys, and it's a South Korean company. I believe this line is over. It only lasted a few years.
I didn't realize that busking was a verb.
From what I understand, it's someone who hangs out in the subway and plays their instrument.
So anyone who has their hat and playing a guitar, piano, or singing or whatever for money, that's busking. And this guy is Bus King, spelled exactly the same.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of a pun, if I remember, with that. So he's the king of buses, but he's also busking.
So the reason why I got him is because Hasbro does not make a bus. This is a city type bus. He's kind of odd colors. He looks like a bus. The paint's really good. The plastic's really good. Like, he's heavy.
Yeah, he is. He's very chunky boy. Very thick panels, so I can see younger fingers for this one, because it's very, very thick. Not very fiddly. A chrome key?
And that's diecast.
Does it come
so
up?
part of the gimmick. Yep.
Well, I'll let you show me. It looks like a street sign, but also a key.
Yes, so this line, I think it's called a toe key. This had a gimmick where the key did something, but it doesn't really do something. So this, he's got a hole right there,
Oh, no, they put it in... Okay.
and it's just to help separate. That's all it does.
Oh, woo! Whoa, that's a feature. Yeah, he's a chunky boy.
He is
So what age group is this for?
probably your older kids, 8, 9, 10. But I like it.
Oh, transformation is not too bad.
No, it's easy.
Awesome. Okay. And he's got, there it is, the pun on busking, Bus King and busking. He's got headphones and he's blasting speakers, and he probably has like a tiny little human hat that he's collecting change. Or maybe he's breakdancing for money.
He might be.
Doing
A giant city bus
Yes.
breakdancing.
Yeah. That'd
That's
be
a
pretty
big piece of cardboard.
Yeah. He's doing the spinneroonie on
As
it.
soon as he hits, he just grinds into the pavement. Ratchets everywhere. They're just... They're delicious.
I know we said earlier, oh, this is a direct comparison, but this is for much younger audience than the bulk of the Transformers coming out.
I would say this is the closest.
Okay.
Because these were made in the vein of Energon era, the Unicron arc.
Oh, okay.
So these are that super chunky aesthetic. These have similar gimmicks and stuff like that. Like, he doesn't have a spring-loaded anything like those did. I would say this is the closest thing to a direct competitor. They do still make Transformers for that age group, so I would say, yes, this is the closest direct competitor.
Okay.
You're not going to get the articulation that you would from a Transformer. That's his elbow bend. That's as far as he goes. No ankle tilt, no waist rotation, nothing like that, but he's pretty cool. And he's a bus, and he's the proper size. He's a big boy. I thought this was expensive until I got him in hand. I was like, oh, this is like $65. But then I got him, he's so big, and he's so heavy. As tall as Grimlock, but he's way heavier.
Bus King gonna make you sing! What?
They made lots of figures. They're not in scale with each other, so they make some other really cool looking cars, police car, but they're all this size. They also make minis, so you can get this guy, but this tall. And then they make combiners where they have Bus King in there, but he doesn't transform into a robot. He just the bus and the limb. All right, so now we're going to go to Mattel.
Oh, I didn't know Mattel did Transformers.
They shouldn't.
So, double license.
Double license.
Right, we
but
got
it's a
Jurassic
license,
Park.
Yeah, they've had for a while.
And,
They make all the Jurassic Park
Jeep?
toys. Does that look like a Jeep to you?
No, it looks ugly. It's so ugly. It looks like it wants to turn into a Bayverse because there's a lot of panels, but I see some dino skin right
Panels
here.
everywhere.
So I'm assuming this turns into a really weird dinosaur.
You are correct, sir.
Okay.
So I don't think anyone at Mattel or Universal saw this and said, nailed it. This is just a conglomeration of compromise. They picked something that's really difficult. They basically say, hey guys, let's compete with those Transformers. Let's do the hardest thing we can possibly think of.
First.
First.
Before we've learned anything.
Yeah.
What are these?
Give me a minute, because this thing's... Whew.
Da-na-na.
We're going to get copyright struck.
Not for my voice. It's too beautiful.
We need a copyright strike. We can't. I thought you were like commentary.
Oh, I can do that. Kyle is battling with the left panel. We see a dinosaur limb emerging. He's flipping those panels with the best of them.
Oh, that feels terrible.
Sounds like it's gonna break.
Yeah, it does.
Chicken leg just juts out. Okay, that was impressive.
Wait till you see it.
And there's the tail, ladies and gentlemen. Is that kind of commentary you wanted?
What do you think of it so far?
It's impressive. It's impressive. I see that it's just basically panel forming right now.
Yeah, there was a lot of effort put into this thing. Credit where credit is due.
I guess they felt like they had to license, like I can get in their heads, right? They had to license something for their first attempt at Transformers because they couldn't sell it on their own merit of idea.
Well, I don't think it was even that. Somebody said, hey, why don't we make one of our dinosaurs transform? And the engineers almost quit. It looks like a T-Rex was trying to get inside
yeah, and
a
like
Jeep.
Most of its body is in the Jeep. And look at they call it kibble, just hanging out. That is egregious.
Had to go somewhere.
You didn't even try, Mattel.
I had to practice with this.
I like the knees.
So this wouldn't take 10 hours. We're not even at the worst part. That was the easy part.
Good looking teeth. I see the bottom jaw. Good looking teeth.
Hold on. Prepare to be disappointed.
Oh, it's got the cartoony giant eyes.
These panels are only for transformation. They have to flip in to get out of the way so something can slide past it, and then they have to fold them back out.
Oh, rookie mistake.
This has a very specific order.
Oh, another rookie mistake. And this for kids?
Yeah.
This is way too complicated for the demographic they're going for.
Yep.
Now, I am impressed that the Jeep Gray has disappeared. I am actually legitimately impressed with that. It looks like the body's too long. Tail's too short, body's too long.
It's a volley of compromise. That's what this is.
So it just flips inside out. Top part, fold it up and flip down like this. Two panels like this. Okay. So I like the mouth. I like the mouth sculpt. That looks cool. The eyes are weird. I don't know why.
They're so big and cartoony, goofy looking.
Yeah, claws are atrocious. Body is atrocious. Proportion is atrocious.
It's just a cylinder.
Humans who had dinosaurs and they bred them to look like wiener dogs. This is egregious. This is horrible. That is generally impressive that everything flipped inside out, but at what cost? At what cost? It didn't look fun.
No.
It looked like a chore to transform. The age group this is for, it was way too complex from what I could tell. And then the end result is horrible on both sides.
On both sides. One of the worst things about this is it has lights and sounds. There's no off switch. And the tail folds up on top of this, so as you're transforming it, it will not
So you took the batteries out?
I took the batteries out.
What does it say?
It was so just constantly roars.
While you're it's fighting you.
Yeah, it's fighting. It didn't like it.
It doesn't want to exist either.
So the tail folds up on top. It's constantly hitting it because you're trying to get the panels down, so you're constantly pressing it. But
my goodness.
I love this thing for how terrible it is. But I do want to give Mattel and those engineers who made this credit. They pretty much picked the hardest thing you could do. What they should have done, which I think would have sold way better, is do something like this. Do a classic Jurassic Park vehicle and make a robotic animal.
Yeah.
I don't know why they went with an organic animal. That was just a mistake from the beginning.
Rookie mistake.
Not only are you setting yourself up for failure, because you're never going to get them both perfect. You have to do one or the other. And this one went with neither. They did pick something really difficult to do. And it's a lot of engineering, a lot of thought went into this. But the end result is just not good.
That is not the roar of dominance. That is a cry for help.
It is. So the end result, I'd say Transformers really doesn't have any competition. At least not now. I mean, GoBots is over. Super Wings goes for a very different thing. But maybe that's what it is. You can't copy something and be successful. You have to innovate. You have to do something different. I don't know how well Super Wings are selling. Most of the toys aren't something I would be interested in. The Beastbox are very different.
And maybe it's one of those things like I've heard the hotel industry where there's not a whole lot of competition because the threshold to even get into it is so high. There's so much overhead and there's so much additional upfront cost. And maybe that's the same with Transformers.
That makes a lot of sense because you think of all the time in engineering. How long does it take to figure out how an action figure comes together?
And there's one place where the best robot engineers work.
Takara. The other thing to mention is they're all different. If you get a G.I. Joe Classified, yeah, they look different. They come with different accessories, but they're still a humanoid thing. You know what you're getting. Transformers are all different. You get a different character, different size class.
Your point is that you have to re-engineer it from scratch. The G.I. Joe Classified from 3 years ago is not that different from G.I. Joe Classified coming out next year. They're even using some of the same parts still. Transformers doesn't do that. They may retool stuff, they may recolor stuff to recoup some of that cost, but every robot is pretty much a start from the drawing board kind of thing.
You know, they take way longer to make. I think it's 1.5 years for a typical Transformer, which is way longer than, say, a classified G.I. Joe. And so I would say Hasbro really doesn't have any competition. Somebody might say third party, but you're in the upper echelon of price at that point. When you don't have competition, you get complacent, then you don't improve, you don't innovate because you don't have to. There is some engineering tricks that they've taken directly from third party. I don't know if those were designed simultaneously or they actually said, hey, that's cool, we're going to use it.
Yeah.
I love Transformers. These appeal to me, but in a different way.
It's like the freak show. You'll have a shelf for your freak show.
Yeah, this is almost a warning. You see this thing and it just says don't.
Well, if you want to see more about this man's love and obsession with Transformers, we have other videos. We have a tour of his entire basement. This is but a tiny section you see behind us of the immense collection he has, starting all the way back with some pretty cool, awesome, rare G1 stuff, all the way up till present, and everything in between. If you want to check that out, video is somewhere down in the description. We also have a video comparison of a bunch of other Optimus Primes and some other Transformers and Hasbro stuff we talk about.
Well, I was going to say, which is your favorite? Because we have some very different things. We had the bootleg, we had the kid stuff, we had the Beastbox, closest to a direct competition, the GoBots. The unicorn? The unicorn was your favorite?
This thing truly is magical.
I love how much it scared you. And just surprised, maybe not scared.
I could watch this, seriously, 20 more times.
It's available on Amazon right now.
If you know any other Transformers fan, then share this video.
Yeah, and let us know if there's anything we forgot.
Are there any other Transformers competition besides like those really niche third-party stuff? Besides those, is there anything else we're missing? Let us know down in the comments, and maybe you'll get this guy to buy it.
Now get out of here, you crazy kids.
And transform some robots! Unicorn power! You're stuck in a traffic jam! You don't know where you can go, but you gotta get there, man! So it's going with Unicorn Pilot! Unicorn, go to work so you can fight!
But it has to be 2 people.
That's crashing. Let's try it again.
There's a dragon one, a small drink. Stay alert.
How long is he gonna do that?
I think that's it. Like, stay alert is I'm going to bed.
Okay.
So I'm leaving.
I'm leaving.
Stay alert.